and join us at the Grizzlies Plantation Cove, St. Anne's on the 20th and the 21st of January 2023. Come and see the Arts Village, the Herb Curb, the Food Court, and a whole host of artists. Come and celebrate with us, 29 years strong. We never go wrong. Preserving reggae at its best. Don't you know? It's the People's Show. We'll see you there.
You're locked on to the number one radio station. Number one radio station.
They play the best music.
Number one.
Cool Runnings Restaurant, located at 1802 Nerid Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx. We specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food. You're listening to Lady D on Inside the Zone right here on Linkage Radio. It's Lady D on your radio on Inside the Zone.
This is Glacia, and you're listening to the resplendent, resourceful, beautiful, brilliant, innovative, informative, and entertaining Lady D, the one and only Lady D, Inside the Zone on Linkage Radio, the community platform where information is guaranteed. Linkage Radio, Lady D, Inside the Zone. Inside the Zone.
Monday. Let me get my voice going here so I can say Monday, Monday, Monday. Alrighty, I'm good. I can hear myself. Monday, Monday, Monday. It's another beautiful Monday here in the Northeast. I am in Lower Westchester County. Hello, everyone. I am so privileged to be spending the time with you. Yeah, you, all my Linkage Radio family and friends and loved ones and blah-de-blah-de-blah. Hello, everyone. I tell you, it's a great day, and I'm here with you. All the people who have been spending the time to share with us each and every time we're on, and in particular this afternoon's program of Inside the Zone. It's another edition, and I'm so happy to be here with you. What do you have on your mind? What has been going on with you? Do you have challenges? How are your children doing? How is your marriage? Are you single? Are you seeking? Are you not feeling well? I have been praying for just about everything, for myself, for other people. Petitions I do not know about, but we continue to hold fast, because who is our rock again? Yep, his name is Jesus Christ, and I ain't afraid to say so. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. 15 minutes after 5 o'clock. Oh, what a day, what a day. My day was productive. I've been looking for stuff, and I've been able to find them, doing my totals as I go along and say, oh, I can make the mark. I just need to pull some additional stuff. So I have worked today. So come Friday, when I get, I'm not going to be play-hating the people who bless me. Nope. I'm going to be grateful. Are you grateful for your job? That's a topic I want to raise, Yeah, I want to talk about that. Hello, everybody. My love goes out to you this afternoon. It is a Monday drive, keeping you in the know in the city. You walk, drive, and reside. So wherever you are, welcome to the show. Inside the Zone is a culture-centric radio program that connects the Jamaican diaspora and international audiences globally. The show's content captures its people's social, cultural, and collective views on issues that affect their communities: family, health, finance, immigration, housing, wealth management, real estate, life and health insurance, and food insecurity, and so much more on a Monday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Thursday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Hello. You're tuned in, of course, to Linkage Radio. Have you touched on our app yet? I told you I downloaded the app. I know King Ryan has the app. Pat, do you have the app? I don't know, but, well, wherever you are, yes. Ensure that you download the app. I know some of you are challenged right now, but it's temporary, so hang in there. Welcome to the show, 17 minutes after 5 o'clock. I'm broadcasting on CaribbeanVibesRadio.com. That is www.CaribbeanVibesRadio.com. Caribbean Vibes Radio Network. Good afternoon, Chris Wilby. Brother Chris, how are you? Coming up in a few minutes, of course, you know I do have the Monday beat, chasing the Monday blues out of here with great music. It is my Gents Music Monday. Gents Music Monday. It's the second Monday. Hello, everyone. Birthday shout outs to those of you who are having your birthdays today, your wedding anniversary, and a baby was born somewhere in the world today. Life, 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 life. We welcome life. Hello to my YouTubers. Don't forget to share the link with your friends, family, everybody you know. Inside the Zone with Lady D. Okay? That's my YouTube channel. Those of you who are listening and you say, oh, I need to see Lady D, hop on and see me. And then you can figure out the rest, okay? But I don't mind you logging in to see the show live here on the YouTube channel. Want to say hi to everyone who you're home, you worked hard, and life is going your way. Well, kudos to you. Are you ready for us to get the Monday beat going? I am ready. I'll be here with you until 7 o'clock this evening. So spread the word, share the link, say hey, and put your head out through your door now and say, at home, not driving now. If you're home and you want to just peek through the window to your neighbor and say, hey, Mary, check out this link, and you just text it over. How about that? Wouldn't that be nice? Yes, man, you would have accomplished something great this afternoon. So hello, hello, hello. It's a pleasure being here with you on a Monday. And I'd just like to hop on over and say hi to Ryan and Anne. Hey, Anne. My Anna is on. Anna, share the link with your family and friends. No matter where they are, you know they can tune into the show. So jump on it right now. Pat, you do the same. Ryan, you do the same. Let's have a great afternoon. I'm ready to have a good time with you this evening. Great time, awesome time. You ever hear the word awesome? The poor word awesome is like stressed by now. Must be saying, are you people using me right? Awesome for every single thing. So let's have some music on a Monday afternoon in the Monday beat. It's Gents Music Monday.
Saw you dancing at the ocean, running fast along the sand. A spirit born of earth and water, fire flying from your hands. Oh, hold me closer, tiny dancer. Count the headlights on the highway. Lay me down in sheets of linen. You had a busy day today. Oh, hold me closer. Hold me closer. Hold me closer. Hold me closer. Hold me closer.
There are caravans we follow,
Drunken nights in dark hotels. When chances breathe between the silence.
where sex and love no longer care.
Hold me closer, tiny dancer. Count the headlights on the highway. Lay me down in sheets of me closer, me closer, me closer. Yeah.
Started off so tender, so sweet. But now she got me smoking out the window.
Must have spent 45,000 up in Tiffany's. Oh no! Got a badass kids running around my whole crib like it's Chuck E. Cheese. Whoa! Put me in the jam with an X-Men in the UFC. Can't believe it. I'm in disbelief. This bitch got me paying her rent, paying for trips, diamonds on her neck, diamonds on her wrist, and here I am all alone. I'm so cold, I'm so cold. You got me out here smoking out the window, smoking out the window, singing, how could she do this to me? How could she do this to me? Oh, I thought that girl belonged to only me, but I was wrong. 'Cause she belonged to everybody. Ooh. Just the other night, she was gripping on me tight, screaming Hercules. Got me in the club looking for a new love, someone help me please. Baby, why you doing this? Why you doing this to me, girl? Not to be dramatic, but I wanna die. This bitch got me paying her rent, paying for trips, diamonds on her neck, diamonds on her wrist, and here I am all alone. I'm so cold, I'm so cold. You got me out here smoking out the window of the Benzo, singing, how could she do this to me? How could you do this? Oh, I thought that girl belonged to one thing for sure, one thing for sure. I was wrong. She belongs to everybody. Yes, she belongs to everybody. She belongs to everybody. Oh no! Look here, baby. I hope you find whatever it is that you need.
The Monday beat, chasing the Monday blues out of here with great music. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon to you. 27 minutes after 5 o'clock.
Now I gotta give you back to the city. Oh, you got me.
I do have a lot going on this afternoon for you. It's Men's Music Monday, or rather Gents Music Monday. What's on your mind this afternoon? Are you driving, you're walking, you're talking, you're sitting, you're standing? What are you doing? I want to say good afternoon to Mr. Hines and to all the presenters here on Linkage Radio. Good afternoon to you. And I do have, of course, some features coming up for you. As you know, today is the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. And therefore, I just want to hold the fort and do what I have to do what's right, and, just keep moving and having you join me on a Monday afternoon. So wherever you are, good afternoon. Once again, our telephone number is 914-600-4228. If you're viewing us on one of our many platforms, I'd like to say hello, and don't forget to log on to your app. So you go to the App Store and you type in Linkage Radio, and you'll be able to download, whether it's TuneIn, whether it's, I work sometimes when I'm at work and I can't be on my phone, so I have to log on and I'll tune in via streamer. You go through Google, we're all over social media. So if you're challenged right now because you're thinking, oh, I can't pick it up. Well, guess what? There are other options for you. So we have not left you hanging. Things will resolve momentarily. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that at all. So this up. Now, where did you go? Where did you go? Good afternoon, everyone. Have you ever just realized that you have something and then you can't find it? And what do? Man, you always have a backup plan, don't you? It's good to have backup plans. Can you imagine? You're just operating without, no little plan, no nothing. Before you know it, you're in trouble, because I know I have my backup plan. So I'm looking for it and I'm like, where did you go? Where are you? Why can't I find you? Oh, Lordy. So I just want to say hello to everybody today, knowing that it's a good day. So coming up in a few minutes, of course, we're going to talk about our hobbies, right? It's a new year. A lot of us, either we like to go cycling, swimming, cooking, fishing, we like to read. There's something that we like to do as individuals. And we find that we get good at it. We're good at it. Time signal, 5:30 p.m., brought to you by Cooler Runnings, Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. Have you stopped by Cooler Runnings lately? Well, I invite you to go on over to them and yes, so I just want to say hi to everybody. Now, put your thinking caps on because we want to talk this afternoon. And please be advised, I want you to call me so that we can have conversation. I don't want to be here talking and, Ryan don't call me, Pat don't call me, Anna don't call me, everybody I know don't call me. No, we're not doing that today. Not doing that. So, hobbies. Anna, do you like to cook? Ryan, I know you can. Pat, I know you can. But we're talking about our hobbies. And I chose food because I know sometimes people have this great urge to cook, whether it's their codfish and bean and callaloo and all the meats that pork, chicken, this, that, you like to cook. But tell me, what are some of the foods that you like? Because that's what's inside the zone this afternoon. I know that we know about our bus. Lordy, I know that we know about saltfish with cabbage. What do you like to prepare? What's your best meal as a hobby when you do, you cook? So cooking is a hobby for you, or it has become the staple. You're a housewife, you're a mother, you're this, you're that. You have to cook. But I just want to mention a few, but I'd like you to call me and let me hear what your thoughts are. Because, I know people like to whip up things and we cook differently. So here I'm popping out one for you, saltfish with cabbage. How many people like that? Some people say they love it, but somehow the cabbage is hard to digest for them. And I notice how some people prepare it. It's still a little hard. For me, it has to be a little bit softer, not too hard, no. But I like it a little bit softer, so it's easy to digest for me. So they say saltfish with cabbage is a traditional dish hailing from Jamaica yard. The dish consists of steamed cabbage, flaked saltfish, herbs and spices, right? So we season up. The list of ingredients usually includes salt cod, white or green cabbage, carrots, scallions, garlic, onions, tomatoes, bell peppers, thyme, red chili flakes, and oil, right? All of the ingredients are sauteed and steamed until everything is tender. The dish is served hot for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and it's usually accompanied by boiled dumplings or ground provisions such as yam, pumpkin, and green banana. Now, I know My dearest Anna is not a Jamaican. And so, Anna, how do you prepare your favorite food? Because I think you like to be in the kitchen. At least that's what Lady D thinks. So you can call me 914-600-4228. Let me see what else I have on the list. Then, of course, we have or Jamaican roasted breadfruit. How many of us love breadfruit? Although it is technically a fruit, breadfruit is commonly consumed as a starchy side dish, accompanying callaloo or ackee and saltfish. In Jamaica, people tend to roast a whole breadfruit on top of the stove over high heat or in the oven. When the breadfruit is roasted, it can then be used as a side dish or additionally fried in a skillet until it is golden brown on all sides. We do love that, don't we? Then we're talking about pepper pot soup. Pepper pot soup is a classic Jamaican soup made with coconut milk, callaloo, okra, hot chili peppers, garlic, onions, and optionally meat, such as pig's tail and salted beef. The soup is often enriched with flour dumplings before serving. The soup is seasoned with salt and black pepper, and it is often garnished with minced Scotch bonnet peppers. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Gungo pea soup, man. How many of us love that? It's 5:35 p.m. This nourishing Jamaican soup is prepared with beef, pigtails, gungo peas, yams, onions, thyme, pimento seeds, and either Scotch bonnet or habanero peppers. The soup is usually enriched with the addition of spinners, Jamaican dumplings, of course, made from flour, water, and salt. All ingredients are slowly simmered until the meat, peas, and vegetables become tender and the soup develops a thicker consistency. Gunga pea soup is a Jamaican staple that is enjoyed throughout the year. Let me look right here. But it is especially popular during the holidays and on Saturdays. Man, we remember being served soup on Saturdays to the point where I stopped drinking soup after a while. Hey, my Sharns, welcome. Talking about some nice, tasty food here. What's your hobby, Sharns? You love to cook in the kitchen? So, soup selling a street side like crazy. Jamaica people, them love soup. I tell you, Sharnette, of course. So, soup is a famous staple for us, right? And yes, we love that. Gungo, red peas, you name it. And let's talk about, let's see. Now, why are you coming up over here? Okay. Alrighty. You may call 914-600-4228. 914-600-4228. No. So they have Janga soup, and I'm wrapping this up in a few minutes. Janga soup. Janga soup is a Jamaican soup consisting of janga. That's Jamaican word for freshwater crayfish and vegetables such as Alrighty, I do apologize for that. I'm not sure why this thing is coming. Okay. It is usually seasoned with garlic, thyme, Scotch bonnet peppers, and pimento when it's done. Janga soup is spooned into bowls and garnished with parsley. Interestingly, it is believed that this soup is an aphrodisiac which gives long endurance to men. Of course. Okay, then. Okay. So, Ryan is on his own conversation over there. So, welcome to, of course, What's Inside the Zone. I'm just talking about your hobbies, and food is on my staple this evening. So, welcome, everybody. More music for you. Of course, I do have my segment that... Oh, stop. Shucks. I don't know. Hello? Hello? I don't know, something.
Hello.
I do apologize. I have to make some changes here with the phone line, so you may give me a few minutes, please.
Okay.
Okay, I do apologize. I noticed that it's not coming through. The calls are not coming through the usual. Not sure why. So I'd just like to say, stick and stay with me. I'll be right back. This is Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez. Don't go anywhere. Hold your horses. I'll be back. It is Monday, and it's a good day. Who do I have for you right now? Maxi Priest.
You say you're hurting, oh, cause they say I'm flirting, oh no. You just can't take it anymore. Your friends say I'm no good for you, but in my heart I'm so true. A partner for life, we can be sure. You asked me for some time to clear your mind. I stayed away, it hurt so much without your touch. Now I'm back and you say just a little bit I'm no good for you, but in my heart I'm so true. A partner for life, we can be sure. You asked me for some time to clear your mind. I stayed away, it hurt so much without your touch. Now I'm back and you say just a little bit longer, baby, 'cause my love keeps growing stronger. A little more time to say, but in my head a love song plays for you and me. We played in the rain together. That feeling lives on forever. Memories that bring tears of joy. We've had our share of bad times too, hurting each other, me and you. Brought us much closer in the end. There's just too much we both fought for to put it all down the drain. I've stayed away just for a while, but now you're driving me insane. Just a little bit longer, baby, but my love keeps growing stronger. A little more time to say, but in my head a love song plays for you. And just a little bit longer, baby, but my love keeps growing stronger. A little more time to say, but in my head a love song plays for you and me. Said all there is to say now.
Good afternoon. It's another edition of the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. I must apologize to my callers. I realized that the calls were not coming through the programmed feature that we have here. Hence, I am not able to answer you. So I have reached out to my technical operator to see if I can get that situation rectified.
For my love keeps growing stronger. A little more time to say, but in my head a love song plays.
5:47 p.m.
Just a little bit longer.
Keeping you in the know with news happenings and facts coming up in a few minutes.
A little more time to say, but in my
Maxi Priest, my guy, on a Monday afternoon. It's Gents Music Monday.
for you.
I'm going to have to send Ryan and Sherns down to Cocoa Bread Lane. Anybody know Cocoa Bread Lane? Want to say hi to DL and Diane. Diane, I hope you're listening. How are you, Diane? Yes, want to say hi to Diane. Want to say hi to King Ryan and to Sherns and to Anna and who else? Princess. Oh, my princess, how are you? Not to worry, princess. You're always early for me. That's okay. Don't get yourself bent out of shape, as they would say. Don't get yourself bent out of shape, my dear heart. It's gonna be fine. So good afternoon, wherever you are tuning in. Life is good, wouldn't you say? You know how many people right now are just so stressed. I mean, stress. Don't be stressed. Don't let a thing hinder you from smiling. Yesterday I was at church, and while we were, doing the announcements and people were celebrating birthdays and wedding anniversaries and so on, while I was in the area that I work, a young lady, one of my little youth, she says, "I don't like to smile all the time." So I said, I need to nip that in the bud. So I said, "Why don't you like to smile? Did you know that that's a gift Do you know how God has been so good? He thought of you and said, I'm going to bring this child into the world. And I want to hear her cry when she comes in. And I want to see her smile as she starts to grow up. So I said, you know how many people are laying down right now? And they can't smile. They are just there staring. They can hear, but they can't respond at all. I said, you need to smile every chance you get so that God knows how grateful you are. Because there are some people who just, they don't smile. They tell you they just want to not feel like and so on. You know how many people wish they could smile because they're laying on their backs? Seriously? We should not take things for granted at all. Don't take life for granted and the things you're able and capable of doing right now. Need I say any more? You know, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm telling you, because you never know. Hey, Drea, how are you? So I'm assigning my YouTubers this afternoon. You're on a project with me. While you're watching on your devices, can you just send the link? Because I'm sure some of you come on and you don't share the link. And I don't want to have to beat you. So I want you to share the link and bring other people in, okay? Some more music for you. News coming up in a few minutes.
Just one touch, one kiss from your lips. It's heaven, yeah. Loving you is like the perfect love song. You know, the one that you always want to hear. And when my day's going all wrong, seeing you is like the song in my ear. So all I need is you, baby. Body to body with only you, baby. I don't need another. 'Cause baby, what we got, we got a perfect love song. I just the way you look by me when you see me. And the way you put it by me when you give me. I saw me love when the fire blaze, you see me. Now I'm gonna see me roam round like I'm a gypsy. You're like a piece to a pot, queen to a king.
Alrighty, so we have a little buffering issue going on here, but nevertheless, more music coming up, so stay with me. It is now 5:52 p.m. Get ready for news at what time? 6 o'clock. And do have, my usual features for you, voices and all of that. But it's my Gents Music Monday, and I don't know what's going on with you, but you're going to have to stop. You're going to have to work for me this afternoon. Work for me. So, hi, everybody. Good day. And don't forget, again, share the link. Oh, never mind, Andrea. Never mind. Today is the Monday Drive. I do apologize. Keeping you in the know. It's coming up at 7, the Monday Drive. And that's what we're doing here on a Monday afternoon. And while I'm trying to get all of that going, I'd like to say hi to, again, DL and to Diane and Pat and Gloria, Auntie Daphne. I'm still shouting them out, come what may. Eddie, Al, who else? Hortense, my dear heart. My dearest Hortense, want to say good afternoon to you because I know that you are tuned in and listening. So welcome. Don't forget our telephone number is 914-600-4228. I hope it will work, but I'm here trying to get things going. So that's what happens when you're producer, presenter, and everybody all mixed up in one. 5:54 p.m. And stop by Cooler Runnings this evening. How about that? Stop by Cooler Runnings this evening and tell them that Lady D sent you. And they'll be too happy to, cater to you. And don't worry. All is well. All is well.
This generation rules the nation.
I just thought of this song.
Music and some food of love.
Anybody remember this song?
They make you rub and scrub. Dang, 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 biddly, bang, biddly, bang. Bang, biddly, 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 bang. I say,
Pass the dutchie on the left hand side. Pass the dutchie on the left hand side. It a go bun.
give me the music, make me jump and pump.
It a go done.
Give me the music, make
Who remember this song?
It was a cool and lonely, breezy afternoon. How does it feel when you got no food? You could feel it 'cause it was the month of How does it feel when you got no food? So I left my gate and went out for a walk. How does it feel when you got no food? As I passed the dreadlocks camp, I heard them say, How does it feel when you got no food? Pass the dutchie on the left hand side. Pass the dutchie on the left hand side. It a go bun.
give me the music, make me jump and pump.
It a go done.
Give me the music, make me
Jello.
looking at the down. Dang, bang, biddling, bang, biddly, bang, 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 biddling, bang, biddly, biddly, bang.
So I stopped to find out what was going on. How does it feel when you got no food? 'Cause the spirit of Jah, you know he leads you
How
on.
does it feel when you got no food?
There was a ring of jets and the session was there in swing.
How does it feel when you got no food?
And you could feel the chill as I seen and heard them
How
say,
does it feel when you got no food?
Pass the dutchie on the left hand side. Pass the dutchie on the left hand side. It a go bun.
Give me the music, make me jump and pump.
It a go done.
Give me the music, make me
Jello.
looking at the down. Me say listen to the drum and me say listen to the bass. Give me little music, make me wind up me waist. Me say listen to the drum and me say listen to the bass. Give me little music, make me wind up me waist. I say
Pass the dutchie on the left
I'm sure this takes you way back, doesn't it?
hand side. It a go bun.
I'm sure of that.
jump and pump.
It a go done.
Heart and sake, Princess says music.
You play it on the
Sharon say pass the dutchie.
we a go hear it on the stereo. And so me know we a go play it on the disco. And so me say we a go hear it on the stereo.
Pass the dutchie on the left hand side.
I say-
Pass the dutchie on the left hand side. It a go bun.
Give me the music, make me jump and pump.
It a go done.
Give me the music, make me
Jello.
looking at the down.
On the left hand side. 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 On the left hand side.
Say east, say west,
On the
say
left
north
hand
and
side.
south. This is gonna really
On
make me
the
jump
left hand
and
side.
jump. Say east, say west,
On the
say
left
north and
hand side.
Oh boy, oh boy. Remember that one? I actually forgot that I had that in my queue because that would have been my theme song for the food segment. Anyhow, yes. Welcome everyone. Good evening to you. It's 2 minutes and counting to news time. Don't forget the show is brought to you by
When you are hungry, come to Kulu Runnings Restaurant. Located at 1802 Nerid Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx, we specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
And I invite you to hop on over to Cooler Runnings. On Thursdays, they have their Seafood Thursday. And please support my sponsors. I'd like to keep them so they can have me here. So please support my sponsors. I'm asking you. Please support my sponsors. And want to say shout out to, who else do I have to say shout out to that I have? Whatever happened to Bushy? It's ages I don't hear her voice. A lot of people for a lot of reasons. Anyhow, so let's see what else I want to do as a quick filler here, because right now it is 6 o'clock. Welcome to Keeping You in the Know with news, happenings, and facts. Alrighty, welcome everyone. Good evening to you. My name is Denise, Lady D Gomez. I'm the host and producer of this show, Inside of the Zone with Lady D. It is aired Mondays, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Thursdays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. On Saturday mornings, live on my YouTube channel. I host the program called Saturday Morning Runnings at 10 a.m. You don't know what you're missing? Please tune in on a Saturday morning for Saturday Morning Runnings on my YouTube channel, Inside the Zone with Lady D. Starting off this afternoon's news feature for you as we are here in this great country that is challenged with so many things. But we go to my first headline for the afternoon. Thousands of nurses went on strike Monday at two of New York City's major hospitals after contract negotiations stalled over staffing and salaries. Nearly 3 years into the coronavirus pandemic, the privately owned hospitals were postponing non-emergency surgeries, diverting ambulances to other medical centers, pulling in temporary staffers, and assigning administrators with nursing backgrounds to work in wards in order to cope with the walkout. As many as 3,500 nurses at Montefiore Medical Center in the Bronx and about 3,600 at Mount Sinai Hospital in Manhattan were off the job. Hundreds picketed, some singing the chorus from Twisted Sister's 1984 hit, "We're Not Gonna Take It," outside Mount Sinai. It was one of many New York hospitals deluged with COVID-19 patients as the virus made the city an epicenter of deaths in spring 2020. Quote, "We were heroes only 2 years ago," said Warren Ucart, a nurse in transplant and oncology units. "We were on the front lines of the city when everything came to a stop, and now we need to come to a stop so they can understand how much we mean to this hospital and to the patients," end quote. The Union for Nurses, the New York State Nurses Association, said they had to strike because chronic understaffing leaves them caring for too many patients. Jed Basuba said he generally attends to 8 to 10 patients at a time, twice the ideal number in the units where he works. Nurse practitioner Juliet Escalon said she sometimes skips bathroom breaks to attend to patients. So does Ashley Woodside, who said her 12-hour operating room shifts often stretch to 14 hours because short staffing forces her and others to work overtime. Quote, "We love our job. We want to take care of our patients, but we just want to do it safely and in a humane way where we feel appreciated," end quote. said Woodside, who has been a nurse for 8 years. The hospital said they had offered the same raises, totaling 19% over 3 years, that the union had accepted at several other facilities, where contract talks reached tentative agreements in recent days. Montefiore said it had agreed to add 170 more nurses. Mount Sinai's administration said the union's focus on nurse-to-patient ratio, quote, ignores the progress we have made to attract and hire more new nurses despite a global shortage of healthcare workers that is impacting hospitals across the country, end quote. The hospital said Monday that they had prepared for the strike and were working to minimize the disruption. Quote, we remain committed to seamless and compassionate care, recognizing that the union leadership's decision will spark fear and uncertainty across our community, end quote. Montefiore said this is a sad day for New York City. Mount Sinai called the union reckless. And in Californians grappled with flooding and mudslides Monday as the latest in a series of powerful storms walloped the state, shattering schools, topping trees, and leaving tens of thousands without power. Evacuation orders were issued in Santa Cruz County for about 32,000 residents living near rapidly rising waters and creeks, said Melody Sereno, the deputy county administrative officer. The San Lorenzo River was declared at flood stage, and video on social media showed a neighborhood flooded with muddy water surging up to a stop sign. Mudslides in mountainous areas blocked roads, and officials urged residents to stay home. In Northern California, several districts closed schools because of the storms. More than 35,000 customers remained without power in Sacramento, down from more than 350,000 a day earlier after gusts of 60 miles per hour knocked trees into power lines, according to the Sacramento Municipal Utility District. The National Weather Service warned of a relentless parade of atmospheric rivers, storms that are long plumes of moisture stretching out into the Pacific and are capable of dropping staggering amounts of rain and snow. The rain and snow expected over the next couple of days come after California has already been walloped by storms that last week knocked out power to thousands, flooded streets, and battered the coastal line with high surf. President Joe Biden issued an emergency declaration Monday for California to support storm response and relief efforts in more than a dozen counties, including Sacramento, Santa Cruz, and Los Angeles. Governor Gavin Newsom said 12 people died as a result of violent weather during the past 10 days, and he warned that this week's storm could be even more dangerous and urged people to stay home. And we head to our Jamaican news. Edgerton Newman, president of the Transport Operators Development Sustainable Services, TODSS, on Sunday appealed to the government to wake up and smell the coffee, as he warned that the public transport sector is heading for trouble. During a hastily called meeting to discuss the issue of outstanding payment for traffic tickets by public transportation operators, which was poorly attended at Halfway Tree Primary School in St. Andrew, Newman demanded that the government gives them an amnesty and not a payment plan, as is being considered. According to Newman, he will not hesitate to go back on his initial word that taxi and bus operators will not stage any more demonstrations. Quote, rescind the whole idea of a payment arrangement and give us our first request, which was an amnesty. The government can wipe the slate clean and start anew. If that does not happen, we're going down to King Street to the High Court with the issue, end quote, said a militant Newman who has claimed that his organization represents thousands of bus and taxi operators. Quote, I have said that we will not go back to a demonstration, but we might have to go back there. There is no way we're going to have a new Road Traffic Act, and the conditions under which we operate are the same. It can't work. Also, we are giving Transport Minister Audley Shaw until the middle of February to ensure that the bus stops are replaced, end quote, added Newman, in an obvious reference to Constant Spring Road, where several bus stops were removed when it was widened. The TODSS had claimed that the government has failed to put in proper infrastructure to facilitate them dropping off or picking up passengers and has not put in place proper parking arrangements. Newman said the situation has caused him to be upset and frustrated, and he is now anxious to see the outcome on Tuesday, when he expects the matter to be discussed in Parliament. Quote, we have received a so-called payment arrangement from the government where we have to pay billions of dollars by January 31st. Looking at the scenario, one taximan has 300 to 500 tickets, not of his own will, but because of the conditions under which he has to work. When government says you racked up these tickets to go and pay, to us, that is total madness, because the conditions under which we operate give the police the right to give even 7 tickets in one day. Wherever a transport operator stops, a policeman is there to waiting on him, end quote, said Newman. He charged that the transport operators begged the government to give them a particular space in Halfway Tree for parking, but the property was given instead to a car dealer to park motor vehicles for sale. Quote, we are in a pickle, a bind, and at a crossroads. There is no way we can come up with over $3 billion by January 31. We're not paying one single dollar until we know what Parliament says, end quote, Newman insisted. And the article continues. Now we also have more news out of Jamaica. It is 12 minutes after 6 o'clock. Residents of Bamboo River in St. Thomas are appealing to the authorities to schedule regular cleaning for a gully which runs in front of their houses, as the stench from it has become unbearable. Additionally, when it rains, their yards flood as a result of the large amount of debris which prevents water from running off to the sea. Nicole Spencer, who recently returned home from hospital after giving birth, complained to the Jamaica Observer that the stench rises up mostly at nights, and she's concerned for the health of her newborn. Quote, you might not smell it now, but when later come down, you can't stay out there, so. It smell real bad and it raw. It come down mostly at nights. When it clean, we don't have no problem. My neighbors, when they feel like it, they push out the bush and garbage out of the gully. When rain fall, the whole of here so flood out. It no look good, and it no good for we health, not at all. End quote, said Spencer. She continued, we have young baby, and not even garbage truck come down here. We have to make rubbish heap and burn them. Some people take it to the dump, which is not close by, while some people take the garbage and throw it into the sea. But me no like the idea for bring it by the seaside. End quote, added Spencer. Another female resident chimed in, explaining that the place want to clean up for true. Big Christmas just gone, and no work no get out for cleaning. We need to see the Member of Parliament, Dr. Michelle Charles, so we can tell her how we feel. said the woman who asked not to be named. She was supported by another female resident who recommended that a system be put in place where the gully is cleaned at least once at the end of each month. Quote, when the rain falls, the rubbish that people throw in it from further up comes down and affects us. The water used to run straight to the sea, but nowadays it doesn't run so freely these days, the woman lamented. And we go to international news as we're winding down. It's 15 minutes after 6 o'clock. 6 journalists in South Sudan have been detained over the circulation of footage showing President Salva Kiir appearing to wet himself at an official event, the National Journalists Union said on Saturday. The footage from December showed a dark stain spread down the 71-year-old president's gray trousers as he stood for the national anthem at a road commissioning event. The video never aired on television but subsequently circulated on social media. The journalists who work with the state-run South Sudan Broadcasting Corporation were detained on Tuesday and Wednesday, said Patrick Oyet, president of the South Sudan Union of Journalists. They are suspected of having knowledge on how the video of the president urinating himself came out, he told Reuters. South Sudan Information Minister Michael Makui and National Security Service spokesperson David Kumuri did not immediately respond to request for comment. Kiir has been president since South Sudan gained independence in 2011. Government officials have repeatedly denied rumors circulating on social media that he is unwell. The country has been embroiled in conflict for much of the past decade. The detained journalists are camera operators Joseph Oliver and Mustafa Osman, video editor Victor Lado, contributor Jacob Benjamin, and Cherbek Rubin and Joval Toom from the control room, Oyet said. Quote, we are concerned because those who are detained now have stayed longer than what the law says, end quote. He added, by law, South Sudanese authorities are allowed to detain suspects for only 24 hours before bringing them before a judge. The incident matches a pattern of security personnel resorting to arbitrary detention whenever officials deem coverage unfavorable, said the Sub-Saharan Africa representative for the Committee to Protect Journalists, Muthoki Mumo. That's a wrap this evening for keeping you in the know with news, happenings, and facts. My name is Denise. Lady D. Gomez, I'd like to welcome everyone who is listening and watching wherever you are. It's my pleasure having you. The show is called Inside the Zone with Lady D. Denise Gomez. How na do? Wapm wapm. Medea, Medea. And I got music for you. You know how I have to just figure out where music.
Sugar, sugar, baby, I just need to know if you need me still.
Gents Music Monday.
Where you want.
Great musical vibe and selection.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget, I stay with you until 7 o'clock.
Let me know, let me know. And if you really, really, really want it, I think you should just let it go, let it flow. So I said, come on, baby, I need your love. I can't fight it, no, you're my drug. My baby blue. Telling you I'm still in love with you. Oh yeah, you're not the middle of the night. I don't really care. You can call me up, call me up.
Want to bless up Chris Wilby, brother Chris.
Time, girl, call me up.
And Chris and I, you see,
Just let me know.
when he says Lady Denise, then he says Sister Lady D.
You want
And you know, at church, hardly anybody call me Sister Gomez or something. This one girl, she called me Sister Lady D Gomez. Most people call me Lady D because my church, we're not so tight, you know, where you have to be saying deacon, deaconess, bishop. My pastor just got ordained in last year and we still say pastor period, and it's no biggie. But man, some churches, you can't do all of that now. Hello?
Baby blue, tell me that you love me. I'm in love with you. Baby, baby, baby blue. Know that I love you. So in love with you. Baby, baby, baby blue.
And then Ryan says Papa C. That's Papa Chris.
Baby, baby.
Sister Lady D.
I'm in
You know, out of respect, I'm going to take this from the top because, of course, I was ad-libbing and doing all kind of stuff in between. So I'd like to take it from the top for you. Taurus Riley, Baby Blue.
Can't live without you. With these words, I'm pouring out my love for you, baby. Sugar, sugar, baby. I just need to know.
I wonder if my YouTubers see how I'm up close and personal. I chose to switch the camera today. Yeah.
On my bill. Oh, yeah. Just tell me what you're saying right now and just let me know. Let me know. And if you really, really, really want it, I think you should just let it go. Let it flow. So I said, come on, baby. I need your love. I can't fight it, no.
Oh, thank you, Chris Wilby. So you know what? I'm going to just make my uniforms, and this is the only color I'm going to be sporting. Because Princess says the color code really looks good on me. So I'm just going to start sporting this. Every day is it a coming into. And it goes with the hair. Huh. Hey, my Vero, so nice to see you. Vero, I hope you're sharing the link. Hortense, have you shared the link yet? Well, I can't ask Chris Wilby to do that because I'm already all over his platform. King Ryan, Pat, Drea, Sherns, Anna, we have a great family over here on the YouTube channel.
Baby, baby, baby blue. I'm in love with you. So I said, come on, baby. I need your love. Come on, baby. I can't fight it, no. Come on, baby. My drug. My baby blue. Telling you I'm still in love with you. Oh yeah, baby, baby, baby blue. Tell me that you love me. I'm in love with you, baby, baby.
What are you thinking about this song that Taurus has out? I like it. I think it's trendy. You know, a lot of people, all age groups will just love to just, vibe to it kind of thing. Baby Blue. Good afternoon to you. Are you just popping in? It's my pleasure to welcome you to the show. Another edition of the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. Where do you reside? I'm in Lower Westchester County at the moment. Yeah. Where are you? You're there Yard, you're there Cape, you're there Canada, Barbados, the Bronx. Let me see where else. Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn, tri-state kind of thing. Where do you fit? I hope you're overseas. You're, an international viewer, listener. It's our pleasure welcoming you here to Linkage Radio. This is how we do on a Monday afternoon, and we got more music. When was the last time you heard this one? Another selection of my guy Taurus Riley.
No, I've never been someone shy until I seen you right.
To all my royal ladies, this is for you.
Try, yeah. Oh, yes. Let me get my words right and then approach you. Woman, I'll treat you like a man is supposed to. You'll never have to cry. No, I know everyone can relate to when they find a special someone. And she's royal, yeah, so royal. And I want her in my life. I never knew anyone so one of a kind.
I don't know, I'm having some interruptions here, but that does not deter me one Tahiti. The music continues here on the show. Inside the Zone, Taurus Riley, she's royal. Good afternoon, all the ladies who are royal. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise or hate you for your little royalty, okay? Don't let them take that away from you. 26 minutes after 6 o'clock.
Natural beauty, Yeah. No, I've never been someone
You're
shy.
listening to Lady D on Inside the Zone right here on Linkage Radio. It's Lady D on your radio on Inside the Zone.
Oh, yes. Let me get my words right and then approach you. Woman, I'll treat you like a man is supposed to. You'll never have to cry. No, I know everyone can relate to when they find a special someone. And she's royal, yeah, so royal. And I want her in my life. I never knew anyone so one of a kind. No, the way she moves to her own beat, she has the qualities of a queen. She's a queen. Ooh, ooh, what a natural beauty. No need no makeup to be a cutie. She's a queen. She's a queen. And when they ask what a good woman's made of, she's not afraid and ashamed of who she is. She's royal, yeah, so royal. And I need her in my life. I never knew anyone so one of a kind until the night that I seen her rise. My queen, so supreme. I can see it in her eyes, the way she smiles. Hey, yes, I know the king and queen crown. See, I'm tired, so I never leave your side. Just stick with me through the trial times. Oh, and she says she no mind. Alright, I know good man is hard to find. And she can't about that giant line. That's why she has no ties at this time. Yeah, I know many men are trying, but she needs to be more than wine and dine, because she's royal, yeah, so royal. And I want her in my life. I never knew anyone so divine. The way she moves to her own beat, She has the qualities of a queen, so supreme. Ooh, ooh, what a natural beauty. No need no makeup to be a cutie. She's a queen, so supreme, yeah. And when they ask what a good woman's made of, she's not afraid and ashamed of who she is. She's royal, yeah, so royal, and I want her in.
There's something. I don't know what's going on with this afternoon, but of course, you know, that has not put a plug in anything. Got more music for you. Let's see.
Oh, mama.
Alrighty, so let's see what's going on here.
Oh, mama, 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 mama. Well, well, well. She's still loving me. Though I've caused her so much pain. Yeah. I've done my share of wrong. My share of wrong. Time and time again. Ooh, she's still loving me. And I can't deny. Oh, no, 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 no. Since she's been in my life, everything's been going fine. And I'm proudly to the world, yeah. She's mine, one and only. And I ain't going nowhere. I ain't gonna leave my lady. Oh, no, no. She's mine, one and only. And I ain't going nowhere. I ain't gonna leave my lady. 'Cause she's truly mine. And most of what she does makes me feel so good inside. Tell the Lord in Zion, I said, oh, she's the right one for me. He made no mistake, and I say this with no apology. Grams, won't you sing about your lady? She's still loving me, yeah. Through all the trials and days, yeah. For I played around, still yet she held it down. Yeah, she did. She's still loving me, even though I made.
Okay, I do apologize. I'm experiencing a technical glitch here in the selections. I'm not sure why, but I'd like to say hi to everyone. The show must go on. There you go. Alrighty, so I will get back to that selection in a few, but I'd just like to remind my viewers that I do have two short clips for you, a combined interview for the segment Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking, and then I'll get back to some more music. So stay with me. Don't you go anywhere. My name is Denise, Lady D. Gomez. Welcome. Good afternoon, everyone.
Amiga Breeze McNabb, thanks for joining us on Profile. Thanks for having me.
I love the way you're nervous, which is because this is very unusual for you, this sort of interview.
In this capacity, sharing my private life.
Hi.
Yes.
Because most people know you for your work, which is as currently I should say, as Executive Director of the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica. So that's the Secretariat. And previously in your work as Executive Director of the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association.
That's correct.
As well. And before that, before the associations merged.
Before the associations merged, yes.
So that's the Jamaica Manufacturers Association.
So
when we talk about the Secretariat, people are much more accustomed to the business leaders who are, I would call them perhaps a little bit more outward facing. So what's the Secretariat for people who might not know?
So the Secretariat, we're the ones who do the work. Let me just put it like that. So we have different units. So whether it's the research that is required, whether for the advocacy that we do, you know, all the things you'll hear some of our presidents say, the positions that come out, we are the engine behind what happens. So you would even hear recent things about Project Star. You know, we're the people behind making those things. But we're not necessarily the face, we are behind the scenes. So we have a structure where you have, you know, your president, your executive, or your board, and they're the ones who are always out there, but we are there and we're the support structure for getting the work done.
So you make them look good and you make them sound good, in other words.
We make them shine and we ensure that we are doing the national development work and the mandate that we are set out to do, yes.
And a big part of this is policy development overall. When you're appointed to the post, moving from the JMEA to the PSOJ, the president said that you are really good at fostering certain kinds of relationships. Where does that come from?
Well, I would say probably from my mother, actually. I always grew up, you know, in these different traveling, going to these different places, networking with different people, even with my grandmother, you know, traveling all over the country because she used to work with UDC and we used to go into these communities. So from a young age, I was around a lot of people and I had to, you know, be communicating and just understanding people at different levels. So when I had to transition into work, I think people used to say I was very relatable. So I was able to relate to my staff, no matter what demographic they were from, and I was able to relate to persons at the highest level as well and just be able to communicate and for just to get the things done and just understanding. So I was able to just move based on, very relatable, just based on who I needed to communicate with.
And you have quite the history to be able to relate to people from different levels. And let's start with talking about your background in Hanover. Tell me a little bit about the community that you grew up with and your grandmother who played such a fundamental role in raising you in the early days.
Yeah, people say I come from country, but I say seaside village. So it's Sandy Bay, you know, a nice little village, fishermen across the road sort of thing. Very closely knit at the time. So was there with my grandmother, but, you know, I used to go in the summers to Patty Hill, where my great-grandmother and my grand-aunt was from as well. So really grew up rural, you know, you have your bucket of water sort of thing, carry your bucket of water, pit toilet, all of those things that people don't know, but yes, it was real for me. But most of my time in Sandy Bay with my grandmother, and as I said, you know, she was really an inspiration because I saw her doing like social development type of work, how she used to try to uplift community and people, whether starting bee farming and stuff like that.
Because she worked with the urban development.
She worked with the UDC, so we used to just...
Urban Development Corporation.
Yes, that's correct. So I had that influence on me, you know, about, you know, national development and just giving back and wanting to see better for people. But even with that, you know, I even had, my mother was, she used to have to travel back and forth, you know, she's a dub poet, so she used to go between England and then come home, whether it's Christmas time or when it got, you know, too cold and she wanted some warm weather. So I had my mother also coming back and forth, but as I would say, you know, she's this absentee mother who was always there because I always felt her love no matter what. But my grandmother was really the foundation and the base, you know, ensuring that, you know, I was going to school, doing what needed to be done to ensure that I became the woman that I am today.
I want to talk a little bit about that relationship with your mother, but let's stick with your grandmother for the moment. What was the community like when you were growing up? Still a very rural community, still a fishing village, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, it was... we had neighbors, we were all close. You know, we went to the same school, you know, whether it was the all-age school by the creation ground, like 2 minutes away from where you live, or we went to the same primary school. So when I went to Bethel All Age and Primary, we would all be there together, very close in it, as I said, right across from the sea. So like every day, you know, people used to call me, what you call it now, wet rat, because I used to always be going over to the beach just after school and just go and swim. On the weekends, you would just find us across the road, you know, swimming. So it was like that. We're very neighborly. You know, we had next door neighbor who was like a carpenter, and all of us used to just play together and go around and build things. Or we're on the road and we get our bicycles and all of us just start riding around the community. So it was that close-knit, and that's what I grew up in. You know, we just neighbors. You come across, you're playing Dolly House, you and your cousin, you know, it was a very nice environment to grow up in.
And I want to talk about your father. You've mentioned your mother, and we'll talk about her in a second. But your father, you don't mention him. Why is that?
Well, I never really grew up with my father. My first memory of my father, as I would tell people, is he came to take me away to live with him. So my first memory was my mother saying, no, you can't carry go anywhere where you're going. Right, so that was my first experience with my father. But my father is, a lot of people don't know this because I have the name Breeze, because my mother's first husband basically adopted all the kids. So we got his name. But my father is actually a Gordon Archie from Clarendon. And, you know, we would have had very few interactions growing up. My mother ensured that I met him, yes, but I probably have interacted with him around 7 times or so that I have been to see him. I've tried to develop a much closer relationship now with him. I do know my siblings, some of the siblings from his side, but I'd still admire him because if it wasn't for him, I would also not be here. I see the fact that, you know, he's a farmer, he's living honestly. Off the land, you know, and doing his thing. And from what I've seen from him, you know, he's a humble person, so I figure some of my qualities must also come from him. So, yeah, and the Rasta thing too, you know. Yeah, I also carried that through as well because he is a Rasta.
So I want to talk about your mother now. You mentioned her briefly there. But we have to take the break. So we're going to be talking about Amiga Breeze McNabb's mother, which is, you know, a huge part of your story because she was such a presence, perhaps described as Jamaica's first female dub poet. And we're going to be delving into that relationship when Profile returns right after this message. She runs the secretariat of perhaps the most powerful lobby group for business people in Jamaica. At just 27, she was the head of another powerful group of business leaders. Today, her story, how a rural girl who grew up with her grandmother, the daughter of one of Jamaica's most prominent poets, survived turbulent times, challenges, and hurdles. My guest is the executive director of the private sector organization of Jamaica, Amiga Breeze McNabb. I'm Archibald Gordon. This is Profile. So Amiga Breeze McNabb is still with me on Profile. Last week, when last week's program ended, we talked about the early days of growing up. We talked about some of the major influences in your life. We talked about your grandmother, your father, and your mother. And we started to talk about the early parts of your career because we were saying at the end that when you had the choice between going to Edna Manley and Montego Bay Community College, your mother was like, yeah, that job, not a job for you. So what did you go on to do?
All right, so after Montego Bay Community College, I was like, okay, degree time.
Alrighty, the interview will continue.
To the University of the West Indies, and I thought I was this bright spark and I'm going to do economics because I loved my economics teacher at Montego Bay Community College. And then I went to UWI and I realized that it's so quantitative that it probably wasn't for me. So, you know, in my first year, I got that letter from the principal office saying that if you don't pass anymore, we're kicking you out, sort of thing. So I had to change a little bit, you know, my degree, what I was doing. So I went to, and I did political science and econ as my minor because I was adamant that it was 3 years I was going to do at UWI and nothing more. So after UWI, I buckled up and I pushed through, got the degree. And, you know, after the degree, I was like, what do I use this degree to do for? No, but I'm not from Kingston, you know, so I didn't have that decision yet as do I stay. So I went back home. And
which, by the way, is such a remarkable. I remember you telling me that part of the story first, and I'm like, all the way back to Sandy Bay.
All the way back to Sandy Bay, live with my grandmother again. You know, I ended up at Sandy Bay Primary and all-age school, getting a job as an assistant secretary and a part-time teacher for grade 1. And I keep saying I remember my first paycheck, I think it was $30-something thousand. I mean, I was happy with what I was doing, but I was like, is this really going to be the rest of my life? But it was a good experience for me though, Archie, because I realized what the education system is like and that there are improvements that still need to be made. I mean, you hear the story, you know, when parents come for beat you for discipline you picnic, I went through that as well. I had a parent come to the school to tell me that don't discipline them picnic. So after that, I started to look at other career choices. But in the West, you know,
that was the moment for you, or the job.
Well, I did it for a year, and the job overall. I mean, I did enjoy knowing that I could have a positive impact on kids' life and children's life, because one of the things, you also had like one teacher to like 45 students, and you had kids who were, you know, they're later in their development, and you needed someone to focus on them specially, and I was able to do that. So I did enjoy that part of it. But then I was looking at my career choices, and in the West, you know, it's more tourism at that time, you know, certain type of industries, and I also thought that wasn't necessarily the way I wanted to go either. So we spoke, and I said, okay, I'm going to come back and I do my master's. So again, because of what I saw my grandmother do, I wanted to do like social development and stuff, and because I want to be one of those out of the school system. Very quickly, I looked at which program had a one-year master's and what master program would I do. And so I ended up over Salises, and I said to Salises...
This is a Sir Arthur Lewis Institute for Social and Economic Studies.
So I said, you know, I want to do social development. And they called me and I said, well, if you want to do social development, you're going to have to go back into UWI and do some courses. And I'm like, no, that not happen. So what other area can I pursue? And they were like, well, we have governance and, you know, we have this other area. And I said, okay, I will take the governance. And so that's how I end up having a master's in governance. So that's how my education side of things went. So, and then I must say, though, that I was able to stay in Kingston and do all of that because at that point in time,
the interview is going quite well. A very smart and pragmatic young woman, if you ask me. But I will return to it in a few minutes once it kicks in. It's 6:48. As you know, the show ends at 7 o'clock. So we've had a good afternoon, wouldn't you say? I missed having the opportunity to speak with you live on air, but I'm hoping that we'll rectify what's going on here. I must let you know, as a public service announcement, those of you who are looking forward to Pastor Isaacs, he will not be here this evening, okay? So you will enjoy an interlude of gospel music in that, to fill that segment, alrighty? but just wanted you to know. So I'm still waiting for my interview to move a little ahead here so we can, wrap this up. Not too sure what the issue is, why I'm having this interruption, but please, I anticipate your patience. Stay with me. I only have a few minutes to go, but I really wish I could complete the interview for you. I could if I were to switch over to another computer, but in the meanwhile, okay, let's see.
No, for 23 years. So, I also had that support structure going through the school system, so I didn't have to necessarily go back to Sandy Bay. But from that now, how did I get into my career? You want me to take it there?
No, before we get into how you got into your career, because, all right, so there's this notion, and that's why I smile as I listen to you describe it, because this feels like the job that you've done for such a while is a fit, and this is also a fit. But there is this notion that you always have to have it figured out at the beginning. But when I listen to you talk, none of those choices was like that. They were intentional, but they were never like, this is going to be my end. And so in order to get this career, the house and the picket fences, this is going to be my path. That has never been it.
No, and I don't want to tell people not to plan. I know that's the thing, you plan and you structure your life where you want to go and how you go about getting it. But I really was never that person, to be honest. I never said, okay, this is the career path that I'm going to choose, or this is the path that I wanted for a family, or this is the type of house that I would want. I was never a planner like that. I think I was more, because of my experience growing up, I was more like, there's one life to live. I'm going to live it to the best of my ability. I know education is important, so I'm going to get educated, and I want to contribute nationally. So that's what I knew in my head.
You know the concepts, but not necessarily
this is the path, a planned path for it. Yeah, because there are different things that happened throughout my life that it could have gone very wrong. But, fortunately, I was able to pull through, and this is where I am today.
Before we get to where you are today, let's talk about some of those things which you said could have led you off that path and off that kind of track. One was the experience that you had with your mother, but through going through all of that, turned that into a positive, took the positive out of that. And another of the challenges that you mentioned to me, and I don't know the extent to which you're comfortable talking about it, is also the challenge of sexual abuse as well.
Yeah, so, as I said, sometimes you need a very good family structure around you, because you need that as a child growing up. And I would have, at the age of 15, I think that's where I had a difficult turning point in my life where I was raped, right? And this is something that nobody knows. So, Archie, to your team. So I told nobody really, because at the time I don't think my grandmother could have helped me. I didn't know if my mom could have dealt with it mentally, so I didn't want to give her that stress. And so I tried to handle it myself. And why I enjoy life so much, because during that experience, it was said to me, if you continue to fight, I'm going to kill you. So for me, I don't think I could have either been dead or, thankfully I'm here today. So I enjoy life to its fullest, but it took me down a path trying to deal with it on my own and not seeking help. So people, the help is there, seek it if you go through an incident like what I went through. So I ended up smoking weed, hard, but again, because of my mom's schizophrenia, knowing that it was cannabis-induced. Archie, when I smoke it one time and me see the stars come down on top of my eyes, I was like, that's it. It's not for everybody, and you should know your limitations and what is good and not good for you. And then after that, I went into chain smoking. So I used to be putting packs of cigarettes away, like non-stop. So, I would have had certain behavior patterns that were not necessarily the best choices as a teenager. So, like my teenage life there was just almost like ripped apart, right? So I would have gone through that with the chain smoking, and then I would have made bad choices with relationship as well, because I ended up in an abusive relationship. And I must say, I understand it when women, as one of those persons, you cover up with makeup sort of thing, and you give the excuse, you lick up in a door or something like that. So I understand sometimes you don't see the way out. You're young, you don't know how to deal with these situations. And again, I think this is an area in Jamaica that we need to look at, how we support women, especially women with children, who want to come out of an abusive situation and don't know how or don't have the support mechanism to do so. Fortunately for me, I stopped smoking because I tell this story all the time.
But
you don't want my
No, I have to cut you right there. No, I do want to hear this story, but we have to take the break on profile. Okay. So we're going to be hearing that story on the other side of the break. My guest is Amiga Breeze McNabb. She's the executive director of the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica. Absolutely amazing story leading up to where she is today, and you're going to be hearing more of it on the other side of these messages.
I would have loved to take you to the other side, but at the moment, they just simply have part 1 and 2. But I'm telling you that she took the position as executive director of the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica, right? And that came into effect in January 18, to be specific, 2021. And she, as you hear, she mentioned that she hails from Sandy Bay, Hanover, and she is smart and has gone through a lot, but still she was able to walk into the interview and land the job. So there's nothing that we can't do. And I like to feature interviews like this, of people's lives, because you can say, man, I can accomplish anything no matter what I go through. I must apologize to my callers. I really would love to engage you in conversation this evening, but I'm experiencing difficulty with the phone line. Nevertheless, we had a good run this evening, wouldn't you say? Well, I'm going to say. I'm going to sing my own Sankey this evening and go on to my yard. It is 4 minutes to what time? 7 o'clock. Man, time fly when we're having fun, wouldn't you say? I think so. So I'm looking for another selection to simply wrap up the show. And again, Pastor Isaacs will not be coming this evening, so you'll enjoy some nice gospel music to take you into the next segment that follows. But blessings, everybody. What a wonderful evening. And don't forget, I'll be back on Thursday, God willing, to do it all over again for you, right here on Inside of the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez. Stick and stay with me. Don't go anywhere.
Your assignment is to write a
And I want to thank Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant for sponsoring the show. And also, I'd also like to thank those of you who spent the time to listen. Thanks to Chris Wilby for airing it. And blessings to Linkage Radio. Have yourselves a wonderful evening, everyone. God bless and keep you. They just tell me to go on up, go up, galang up. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Blessings, a lot of love. I'm out of here.
Tell me how come AIDS is spreading while taking over.
You're locked on to the #1 radio station. Number one radio station.
They play the best music.
Number one. best music for your listening pleasure.
There are radio stations within the air, but to this, none can compare. Trying to figure what to think, because now with us,